Dave, we'll start in Japanese. Who has the first question in Japanese for Dave?
では日本語の質問から受け付けます。ご質問ある方、挙手でお願いします。
We'll start in the second row on your left, gentlemen.
Hi Dave. これまでも、日本で開幕する今回のシリーズに向けて、特別な思いを聞かれてきたと思うんですけど、いざ本番を迎えて、今のお気持ちをお聞かせください。
Emotions, anticipation. Open day is finally here. Excitement. I think the last handful of days, you could see how excited the fans were, the people in Tokyo were. Our players are ready to get going.
Other questions in Japanese for Dave? We'll go to the fourth row on your left.
今日の山本選手のコンディションは監督から見てどんな感じですか？精神的にもメンタル的にも、あと山本選手にかけてあげた言葉などあれば教えてください。
I think he's in a great place physically, mentally. He's had a great spring training, great camp, and I think he's going to pitch well tonight. So no restrictions, and I haven't talked to him today.
Other questions in Japanese? Anything else in Japanese? No? We'll take one last one on your third row on your left, Doc.
はい。今の質問に関連して山本投手とカブスは今永投手が投げるということで大リーグでは初めて開幕戦で日本投手同士が投げ合うということですけれども、レギュラーシーズンの1試合開幕戦ではありますがロバーツ監督自身どんな試合に期待したいと思われますか？
I think we have two great pitchers. History is going to be made tonight. I don't see a lot of runs being scored, and I just think it's great for the game. I think that Japanese baseball with American baseball, Major League Baseball, this is as good as it gets.
All right, we'll take questions in English. We'll start with Arash right here, and then Jack, and then Kirsten.
Dave, we see Kike on the field and what he can do, but can you put into context what he means in the clubhouse, the dugout, just being that guy?
Kike is he's a unique, first off, he's a unique person. He's a unique baseball player. And there's just not many people who have the ability to be a jokester, have a lot of fun, but in the biggest of moments, be able to calm himself and perform. And he was a big part of, our last two World Championships.
Got Jack up front.
To quickly follow up on that, was starting him today just like strictly a matchup thing? Does anything go into like the fact he was with you guys last year? Like kind of what went into that decision?
手が先発から先発メンバーに入っているというのは、今永投手との、対戦を、が理由で入っているのか、それとも去年、彼チームにいたから入れたのか。
Yeah, I think obviously with Mookie not being available, I felt that plugging him in, having him play, certainly versus Imanaga, was a no-brainer. Certainly what he did for us last year in the postseason isn't forgotten. And so just kind of my job is to make sure he, continues to take consistent at-bats. I just don't know what that looks like, though.
特にベッツ選手の欠場によって、今日、TK が、先発メンバーで出るっていうのは、迷いませんでした。彼は本当、去年のプレーオフですごい大きな活躍をしてくれましたし、監督としての仕事は、彼が、常に、打席に立てるようにということなので、今日は、先発に、入れました。
Go to Kirsten, second row on your left, then Bill.
Dave, a two-part question. First, with Jack Dreyer, who has the opportunity to make his major league debut here, just what has impressed you most about him this spring? And then on a second note, with Andy Pages, at what point did you see him just make the most strides as to where he is making the opening day roster, and of course starting in center field tonight?
まず一つ目はジャック・ドライヤー投手が、今日メジャーデビューを果たす可能性がありますが、キャンプでの活躍について、話してください。2つ目は、アンティ・パレス選手も、初の、開幕スタメンになりますけど、キャンプでの成長について、聞かせてください。
Well, with Jack Dreyer, he is what caught our eye was his talent. He's a power left-hander who gets lefties out, righties out. I think we learned a lot that he's very mature as a young player, and has given us confidence for him to start the season with us. As far as Andy, I thought Andy started out really well for us last year, and then sort of faltered towards the end, but came into camp in great shape, prepared to win a job, and he's earned this opportunity.
ドライヤー投手に関しては、まず、才能が、目立って、特に左ピッチャーで、パワーのあるピッチャーで、右バッター、左バッター両方打ち取れること、あとは、精神的にも、ベテランみたいな振る舞い方をしてくれるというのが、目立っています。パレス選手に関しては、特にメジャーに最初に上がった時は、すごいいい活躍してくれて、それから少し調子を落としましたが、今年のキャンプにはすごいいい状態で入ってきて、スタメンを勝ち取るという気持ちで入ってきたので、それを評価しています。
Go to Bill, standing by the center camera.
Yeah, Dave, in Arizona, you talked a little bit about second base and center field being undecided a little bit. How have those questions resolved themselves now going forward?
アリゾナでは、セカンドとセンターの、メンバーがちょっと未定だっていうふうに話しましたが、キャンプが終えて、もうちょっと、決まり始めましたが。
I think it's just going to remain fluid. I think that's a position where we have different players that can play second base, can play center field. So it's not going to be one certain situation versus left versus right. I think that just kind of rotating Tommy, Kike, and Miggy Rowe at second base, Tommy, center field, Andy in center field. So it's going to kind of remain fluid. I think each of those guys are going to play between 3 and call it 5 days outside of Tommy, who's essentially an everyday guy.
これからも流動的にやっていくつもりです。両ポジションとも守れる選手が多くて、セカンドではエドマン、ロハス、でセンターもエドマンというパレス選手で守れるので、これまで対左右とか特に決めつけずにこれからも流動的にやっていくと思います。
A bit further back in the doorway, David.
Dave, you said yesterday the team was considering sending Mookie back to LA. Is he here? Did you send him back? And what are the latest on his symptoms?
昨日の日にベッツ選手を帰国させるっていう話をしてましたが、具体的な情報を教えてください。
Mookie flew home late, early evening, late afternoon yesterday, arrived safely, and it was just made the most sense for him to get back to a regular routine. So that's kind of where we're at, and we all support it.
まあベッツ選手は昨日の昼間夕方にかけて出発して無事にアメリカに到着しました。まあ彼にとって一番いいと思ったのはまあいつものルーティンに戻ってまあ回復に向けてまあ時間を過ごすことだと思います。
Go to the first row on your left with Fabian.
Yeah, Dave, tonight's obviously going to be a spectacle. What's that balance of, like, obviously recognizing that it's a regular season game while also, like, embracing just what sort of led to this moment and what this moment kind of means?
まあ開幕戦に向かってまあすごい大きな舞台になりますけど、まあ普通の一試合であるとともにまあ開幕戦であることについて感じを。
It's a. I mean, I think it really takes a concerted effort on all of our parts to understand that this is a meaningful game now. I think there's been a lot of stuff built up, exhibition games, obviously travel, and so you really got to be intentional about ramping up the focus because today's game does matter. It's different for everyone, but it's still a big event. But we got to try to now focus on, playing 9 innings tonight.
これが本当の試合であることまあは本当に意図的に集中してまあ意識してやらないといけないもので、まあ特に移動だったり練習試合の中でまあいろいろある中でまあこれがまあ本当の試合であることっていうのはまあ意識して各選手まあの気持ちの持ち方はまあそれぞれ違うと思いますけど、まあこれがまあ本番であるっていうことはまあみんなに意識してもらいたいです。
We'll do two more quick ones, Steven and then Jason.
Dave, on your right, Steve Wade with AP. Do you have any experience in Latin American baseball? And if so, could you compare the atmosphere in Japan to baseball in Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, Venezuela?
ラテンアメリカでの野球の経験はしたことがありますが、まあ日本の野球の環境とラテンアメリカの野球の環境を少し比べて。
I played winter ball in Puerto Rico. Obviously, I played with a lot of players from the Dominican. Played winter ball in Mexico. Experienced baseball here in Tokyo. I would say the kind of the similarities is the passion from the fans. I think in Tokyo it's a little bit more controlled sort of emotion, chaos, where in the Latin American playing winter ball, it's in the best possible way, but it's chaotic and a lot of passion.
まあ冬のリーグでプエルトリコ、あとメキシコでプレーしたことがあります。あとまあ現役時代にもチームでプエルト